Hello, good afternoon. This goes to the colleagues in service and it's a dedication to the Chance for Children Senior and Vocational School Bongole. This is Teacher Andrew, and I'm making this video to demonstrate how Senior 1 class, where we've all been having problems, is handled. These slides are going to help us in knowing how we organize content, what is required of us, and how we assess. A typical Senior 1 work differs from the rest of the Senior 1 works that we've been organizing, teaching, because this is more of a child-centered learning than the traditional centered learning. Therefore, a number of things have been incorporated in our new curriculum, and this is a thematic curriculum. Good. So, as we head to knowing what we have to do, there are some steps that we have to remember. The very first step I can talk about is that a starter. Remember, we are integrating the use of technology into leading learners to discover. This is guided discovery. So you should have a starter for your lesson. What is the use of the starter? The starter is used to connect the knowledge of the learner in class to the common sense knowledge. Our fathers call it common sense. But this is the cognitive understanding of nature. So here is my starter. I've used the bulb and the person holding it. Then after using that starter, then you have to illustrate. How do you illustrate? Don't tell the learners what is in the picture, but ask them to tell you what the picture is about. Ask them what is in the picture above. Then they will give you their suggestions, and then you also tell them why you use this particular starter. Okay? So we are telling the starter is trying to show us that knowledge is very powerful and it should be guided generously. After explaining, then link the starter that you've used to the topic that you are going to discuss. In other words, the starter connects the understanding of the learner from environment to classroom, from classroom to environment in a particular lesson. A starter can be a picture, just as I've used mine. It can be a short video. It can be an audio, as far as other learning resources can be used. Okay, good. Then after that, before you start showing them anything, the curriculum is telling us that we should share the lesson objective and the success criteria for every lesson. What is a lesson objective? This is the main objective that you would wish to attain in that particular lesson. Remember, when we are organizing our schemes of work and our lesson plans, we have objectives. Yes. Now, if you look at the prototype of the book that we were given by the NCDC, every topic has an objective. Now you have to break that particular main objective into a number of objectives to be attained in a particular lesson. And after giving that objective, how can you assess that the learners have attained this objective or not? That is what we call the success criteria. And the success criteria is in three forms. It has a distinction, that is for the excellent learners. It has a credit, that's for the middle learners, and then a pass for the mediocres. We don't have F because we don't expect anyone to fail completely in Senior 1. We have a distinction, a credit, and a pass, just as I've tried to arrange them here. The objective is the learner should be able to define a market in a contextual way. They don't need to give me the definition of a market as it is in the dictionary, but they should be able to give me the definition of a market in the way they understand it. And in my distinction, if you can give me the definition, you've got a distinction already. If you can give me a vivid description of a market, maybe in an oral form, you cannot write it, but you can tell me something that is connected to a market, it is okay. If you can list the forms of a market, and you can't tell me what a market is, but you can list the form of a market, then you're also good to go. Okay? Now, before you tell them what a market is, before you tell them what you know about a market, remember they also have their ideas. So first, ask for the ideas. Have you ever been to a market? Describe what a market is to you. So they will give you everything they know about a market. Now, if they give you what they know about the market, then prompt their reasoning further. Because remember, there are those people in class that don't raise up their hands. There are those people in class that do not have to say anything. They are shy, they are mediocre. We don't need to leave them behind. So prompt their reasoning further in a correct direction. Provide another image here. Okay? And ask them in your imagination, give the picture below words. Let it be a talking picture. Get one or two people to act it out or to talk it out. By that, even someone who is seated in the corner of the class who has not got a chance to raise up the hand to say something will know whether he or she has been reasoning in the correct way or the wrong way. Then after that, you give them the definition of what you're talking about. If the topic is market, for example, this is Unit 4 of the English Senior 1. Unfortunately, we hadn't reached that far before the schools closed. We were just on Unit 2. But for Unit 4, when you talk about market, then after them doing all they have done above, then come down and give them the correct definition of a market according to you or according to the resources that you are using. Okay? This is what they write in their books. After writing the lesson objectives, success criteria, they write the topic, that is market, and then they write the definition of market. Okay? Then, if you have any other keywords that are related to that particular definition, give them as a task in a spelling exercise. Or if not, give them those particular words and see whether they can understand them. If they can, fine. If they can't, go ahead and break them down. Okay? Good. So after the definition here, then you go further and give them the forms of market. Make sure you talk about them one by one as you give them. Black market, you talk about a street market, a market day, fruit market, a supermarket, a market town. And remember, in a child-centered learning, by the moment you talk about them, maybe some of them have known them before. When you talk about a supermarket, it is not something new to them. Maybe some of them have been to the supermarket not once, not twice. Okay? So when you talk about black market, before you giving your particular answer, first let them air out their ways. And you realize that they have, in fact, much more better information than you personally. Okay? Then after that, please prompt them. If you have some time in your lesson, tell them to go and look for, maybe make research, look for some notes about them. If they can write them down, they bring for you for marking. Give an examples of that particular information. If they cannot access the information anywhere, maybe in the library, then you are going to describe it for them as you give them the examples from the first to the last. And I'm saying if a topic does not have forms just as mine here does, then you are going to break down the new words for them so that they can know and understand what they're talking about. Why? Because after taking them through this lesson, then you are going to give them a task at the end of the day. So you give them the task and you tell them to go and look it up. Try to engage with the elder learners or with the teachers, consulting, researching, and knowing much about it. Now, in this particular task, that is where you introduced what is going to be handled next. And in this particular case, what is going to be handled next in my lesson is the adjectives. But before I tell them, I've told them to go and write a story about the last visit in the market, but using adjectives, so that by the next time I come to class to teach, I'm going to teach something that they have discovered on their own the day before that. I think we're very clear. I want to thank you very much, and I hope this particular thing will be resourceful to you all in all subjects, because our learners are soon coming back. We should know what is exactly needed of us. I'll be making more videos for this to help and guide us. And I pray you take it in good faith, accept it, and try to move in this direction. This is the new normal. We are not going to learn from it. That's why whenever I get something new, I share it with you. May God bless you. Bye-bye for now.